Have you ever believed that there was more... No, that there... I mean, less... Wait, no. I mean, that there... Is... I mean, because there's more to Earth... No, I mean, because if it's hollow, then it's less, right? Okay, so, have you ever believed that there was less to Earth than meets the eye? Have you ever had this nagging feeling somewhere deep within your hollow skull that Earth was also hollow? Well, in this video, I'll teach you in 5 easy steps how you can prove the Earth is hollow. And with any luck, you too can enter the... inside... So, is it called Inner Earth? Because, like, a cave could... Look, never mind. Just, let's get started. First thing you're going to have to realize is that you're about to be making claims that have already been debunked by science. The best way to reconcile this is to convince yourself that established facts are actually Illuminati lies. I know it's a leap, but you have to assume that every single formally educated scientist and every single educator on the globe are either in on the lie or too stupid to piece together what you learned just by watching a 3-minute YouTube video. Feels nice, doesn't it? To know that you're so incredibly intelligent that you are able to figure out the lie, and these people who are arguably more intelligent than yourself and clearly outnumber you by the millions are too dim to piece it together. Remember, a big part of being a conspiracy theorist is stroking that overinflated ego as often as possible. A spectacular trick the proponents of various conspiracy theories have begun to use is prove I'm wrong, where you ask for proof that your theory is wrong and then proceed to ignore everything your opponent says. They are, after all, just brainwashed sheep who have bought into the Illuminati lies and propaganda. Here are a few example questions. Can you show me proof that any explorer has ever been to or found the North or South Pole? Be sure to ignore or write off any answers they may have. Why, when there is an earthquake, do the vibrations go around and not through the planet? They will of course tell you something about compression waves, shear waves, and other things you can't really grasp on an intellectual level. Just ignore them. They will also likely tell you that they can detect compression waves which travel through the Earth, but this is just New World Order lies. They're paid shills, trying to throw you off course. Stand fast. If there is no fresh water flowing from inside the Earth to the outside, at the polar openings, then how are all of the icebergs composed of fresh water? They will likely respond with something to the effect that there are 2 ways icebergs form, 1 through falling snow, which consists only of fresh water, and 2, when seawater freezes, the process leaves no room for salt inclusions, and as a result the salt is pushed out to the edge and outside of the chunk, resulting in freshwater ice. Again, this is all way too complex for such a dim mind, so we're going to be ignoring these scientific claims, in favor of a much simpler, it's 'cause there's a giant hole theory, or, if you like, God did it. That works as well.
That's fucked up right there.
3!
You can also point out that the North Pole and the South Poles are areas that we have never been or are not allowed to go. For instance, the North Pole, if you check on Google Earth, has no ice. None. Just a big giant blue blop where the hole is. Google, being run by the Illuminati, has filled in the hole to make it look as though there's water there, but you can clearly see it. They're terrible at hiding their proof. And if you look at the South Pole, there's just an artificial and huge block of ice. The reality is, there is a hole there, and they used the stamp tool in Photoshop to copy the ice over where the hole is to cover it up, so that it looks like there's ice. Whatever. There's no proof. So what I mean is, you can see that. You can't see the holes because they're hiding it. I mean, there are holes there, and the New World Order doesn't want you to know. That's what's important.
4!
Some of history's greatest minds have been on board with the Hollow Earth scene, and it's in your best interest to remind those plebeians as much. Here is a list of some of the most scientifically accurate people in history to use as your ammunition against reason. Edmund Halley, named after the famous comet. It's important to note that his theories were not actually super similar to ours, but he did posit an interesting idea about why the magnetic poles wander as they do, which concluded that there must be not 1 but 3 spheres that make up the interior of Earth spinning independently. Clearly this is not purely a hollow Earth, but we're going to use his name anyhow. He was named after a famous comet after all. David Icke. Now granted, this man will say things like the moon is an intangible hologram, and in the very next breath say that the moon is hollow like Earth and rings like a bell. So his credibility really only goes so far. But don't let that slow you down, cite him as well. Most people already know him and have formulated their own opinion already, so using his name may not take you very far in an argument. It may well get you laughed at, but who cares if the sheep laugh, right? Nazis. So a long time ago, a bunch of Nazis got together and decided that there was a hollow Earth, and because they were really smart Nazis, they concluded that there was a giant hole, and they purportedly traveled there, entering the hole, and it is believed, within some of the more intellectually challenged circles, that there still to this day exist descendants of Nazis living just 800 miles below our feet. This is important for one significant reason. Nazis, which means no Jews. And as we all know, the Jew world order is trying to kill us, fool us that the earth is not hollow, kill us with chemtrails, destroy our rich culture and history, and bring us into one satanic world government controlled by them, where we will exist only as slaves or food. The inner earth may be our last bastion of hope if Alex Jones does not prove victorious in his efforts to defeat the NWO.
If there is one thing we definitely need more of, it's shitty-made, digitally voiced conspiracy videos on YouTube. There simply aren't enough channels devoted to this subject, and the same goes for flat earth videos. So get your Windows Movie Maker, your MS Paint, and your computer voice narrator cranked up and start spreading the good word. This is by far the easiest step. With the help of Microsoft SAM and a few Google search images of Earth, you can be cranking out shitty conspiracy videos at a furious rate, and nothing is more damning to the critical thinkers of the world than a shitty made 2-hour video postulating a hollow Earth using pseudoscience and misinformation voiced by Microsoft SAM.
Now that you have a firm grasp on all these steps, let's take a moment and look at a few of the world's best hollow Earth videos and see what they're doing right. Now what you have here is ideal. There's no clunky editing to get in the way, there's no voiceover either by human or by Microsoft SAM. It's just raw footage directly from NASA, unedited and re-uploaded. Of course monetized, but, you know, gotta make that money. Now what we see here in this video is clearly not a hurricane, because they say so in the description. Apparently that is proof enough. If it looks like a hurricane to you, it's because you've been brainwashed by the... Okay, dude, this is a fucking hurricane. Come on. You gotta do better than that.
From time immemorial, people have believed that there is another world lying just beneath the surface of our planet.
So what we have here is basically a video that does all of the right things. You've got the digital voice narration, you've got, right off the bat, you've got images of the planet, and, you know, it's not overly edited, it's just some footage and some voice narration. I'm going to skip around in this video a bit and chop it all to pieces because, frankly, I can't be bothered to give a fuck about what they're saying, but let's go take a few highlights out of the video and see what's going on.
New theory. Modern science holds that the Earth is an unbroken series of layers, crusts, and liquid magma surrounding a dense, hot core made primarily of iron and nickel. But not everyone is convinced.
Right, see, these are just Illuminati lies perpetrated in order to throw you off, so you don't find out about the inside of the planet and go there and enjoy their utopia reservations. Or it could also be that if you buy into this shit, you're a complete fucking clusterfuck. But, you know, so.
Even today, there is a small cadre of Hollow Earth believers who are fighting valiantly to validate their ideas through books, websites, meetings and some extremely ambitious travel plans.
Fighting valiantly. Now, do you want to let these people fight this battle alone? Don't you want to get in and help them fight the good fight, to defeat the New World Order, to find the Hollow Earth, to get in there and, I don't know, do whatever people do in the Hollow Earth?
Speculate about a Hollow Earth was none other than Edmund Halley, of Halley's Comet fame.
Ah, see? Halley's Comet. That's what I tell you. You gotta use these fucking key names. Always cite your sources. Of course, don't bother mentioning the fact that he didn't propose a hollow Earth. He proposed the whole 3 independently rotating spheres inside the Earth, but which kind of in a way is what we actually have. Just not exactly, but you know. say his name. That's all that matters. Another thing you should note is to use the word theory as often as possible. That's very important that your video be laden with the word theory, as it lends credibility to your arguably fucked up ideas.
Theories of the international banking conspiracy.
Okay, so what we have here is a recording of the opening of Hollow Earth. Clouds move in and through the holes. You know this is actual footage because it says so in the description. It says the source of the video is unknown, but it was leaked by someone at NASA. That's enough for me, fuck it. So, this is clearly authentic. The video is completely real, there's no manipulation or a volcano or anything like that. Clearly this is factual and real because it says so in the description. Duh. I also just want to point out 500,000 views and 57,000 subscribers on this bullshit channel. Okay, and lastly, what I have here is a special treat for you guys. Somebody deep within the NASA machine has leaked me a video privately of an expedition into the center of the Earth, where you will actually, for the first time, exclusive to my channel, get to see real footage from the inner Earth and the creatures that live there. So enjoy.
Tota I have ye a kao maru squishy head virai squishy. Smiley for the camera, smiley for the camera. Head masaki, feels good.
Hey, this is Jesus, up in heaven. Just wanted to pop in and remind you to subscribe to Derp's channel. Well, what are you waiting for? Do it. Jesus out.